What is going on, everybody? It is I, Fonz from Review and Preview, host of Four Corners, and yes, another draft prospect video that I'll be doing here. This time we're looking at Joey Porter Jr., the corner from Penn State. Now, this one feels very weird to me because as a Ravens fan, I remember his father, Joey Porter, was destroying the Ravens twice a year for a very long time. It's another episode here of, wow, I feel very old. While his father was incredible, I will say that. His son is no slouch. His son is pretty damn good. At 6'2", close to 200 pounds, he's a bigger corner than most in this class, and I'm really interested to see where Porter goes heading into the NFL draft. This past season, he had 21 total tackles with 8 pass deflections. He only had 1 career interception at Penn State, and probably you're thinking, if you're into just the stats itself, you're like, only 1 pick in 3 years with Penn State. Let me tell you, though, he was a lockdown corner. There were times where teams just did not throw to his side of the field. He was just that much of a lockdown guy. For his career at Penn State in 2020 and 2021, he was a third-team All-Big Ten selection. And this past season, he was actually a first-team All-Big Ten selection. So, yeah, he didn't have the numbers as far as interceptions, but the people knew this guy was a shutdown corner, hence why he made the All-Big Ten team for 3 years at Penn State. His combine stats were up in the stiff out of 4.46 40, 35 on the vertical jump, 10.9 on the broad jump, and 17 on the bench press. This guy has some speed, quickness, and a little bit of strength there too. This guy has all the tools to be a very solid corner in the NFL. Now, looking at one of the major strengths he definitely has is the speed and quickness and good fluidity when it comes to defending slot receivers, really. And if the receiver does catch the ball, he's a very good open field tackler, too. So if someone does catch the ball against him, which is kind of rarely, he will be able to make that stop. He has very good corner instincts and very good at backpedaling. He's able to read the quarterback's eyes on where he's throwing the ball to. When it's thrown in his direction, which again is very rarely, he's able to have a good track on the ball and able to swat it out of the receiver's hands. He had a very good eye for the ball and always was able to track down the ball and very good at forcing the turnovers. Again, when you watch tape on this guy, he is something special. He's also very good at press coverage, too. A very quick and powerful punch, too. I guess when your father is a former linebacker with the Pittsburgh Steelers for a long time, you get that moxie, you get that pass down. He plays with a lot of extreme confidence and very competitive demeanor. Again, when you have a father like Joey Porter, it does make a lot of sense. It does help him a lot. And when he did go for those 8 pass deflections, you saw this guy had hops and he was able to jump off the field. Literally, he would have had a lot more interception numbers, I believe, if quarterbacks literally game plan to just not throw in his direction at all. I truly believe that. And if you look back on the tape, you see quarterbacks just avoided that side of the field wherever he lined up. Listen, very good press corner, good tackler, and when no one throws to your side of the field, you know you were a problem in college, and I think it'll transition nicely to the NFL. Now, when it comes to the weaknesses, I mentioned a lot of good strengths for Porter, but again, with the NFL, it is completely different than the college game, so he might need to work on a few things heading to the next level. There's a couple little weaknesses I've noticed when looking at Porter. I say the main thing is definitely to bulk up his frame too. Again, at 6'2", close to 200, probably in the 195 range. When you want to be a physical corner to the next level, you got to be a little bit bigger in the frame area, so that might be a little bit of a problem, but listen, when you work in the NFL, you can easily make that transition, no problem. And while he is good at covering receivers down the field too, when the ball is thrown in his direction, he can get a little bit handsy at times here and there. Again, that's kind of just the testament of when you're playing in the college level. Going into the NFL, I think it'll transition nicely. You might have a little bit of issue with that. A lot of corners. It was one of the harder positions to play in the NFL, but sometimes it was a little bit handsy here and there too. But I don't think that would be a huge problem, just something to look out for. And Tristan, he had a lot of penalties, though, last season and throughout his career at Penn State. So, again, you're going to get it called a lot in the NFL. So he needs to kind of work on that discipline a little bit here when you're physical corner. That comes with the territory, but he'll definitely be able to work on heading forward. And one little issue I saw is that when receivers were throwing little quick screen passes, little quick go routes, he had a little bit of trouble here and there with that. And when you get to the next level, faster receivers, faster game plans, faster offenses, might be a little bit of trouble, but that's just something to look out for as well. Listen, there's no denying this guy was a physical corner and teams did not throw, again, to his side of the field, so he will transition really, really nicely to the NFL. I have a couple of plays here we'll look at, too. Again, you're not going to see the numbers with the interceptions, but just look at the coverage he was able to do here. See the first one here against Central Michigan, too. Quarterback throws into the end zone there, but see Porter here swats it out with a nice traction to the ball. That was a really good pickup by Porter. See another one here against Purdue. Covered him right there. Nice physical coverage against the wide receiver there at Purdue. If you want to look at it again here, pressed up him right there. Very good physicality right there. And it wasn't even too handsy in that play. And you saw, they're looking for the call. That was a clean defense right there. That was one of my favorite plays for Porter this season. You see another player against Central Michigan. The defense a little bit scrambling here, kind of last minute, but no problem for Porter. See the quick out route right there? That could have easily been a pick six if Porter was just a little bit faster there. But regardless, that was still a really good play, especially on fourth down. You see here lining opposite here against Indiana. See the quarterback's looking, scans the field. But look at that. The receiver doesn't catch it, but you see Porter right there. He doesn't have a problem tackling the receiver, and he's able to stop him there on the third down. He will, if there's a catch in the field, he will run after the ball carrier. Look here, another play against Purdue. Lines up here, press coverage, perfect stop right there. Again, Porter, you see here, not the flashy defensive interceptions and running back here, but you see he's the hard-nosed, just press coverage, just locks down anybody. Not a lot of crazy highlights with this guy. He's just good defender. Lines up against any receiver, and he's going to do really well in the NFL, I believe. So that leads me to where is his best fits. Now, like with the other two videos that I've done, which you should check out, by the way, if you haven't, I have my top 3 teams where I think Porter Jr. will go. Now, I definitely believe he'll be the second corner taken right after Christian Gonzalez. He could be the third after Devin Witherspoon, depending on what happens there. So, mid to late first-round pick, but there's a couple of teams that definitely could use his services. First up for me, the Washington Commanders. The Commanders' defense needs a complete overhaul. The team kind of needs a complete overhaul, too. Which better way to build that defense is to get the son of Joey Porter to build that up? I think that's a really good fit for him, and that's something that Ron Rivera will definitely like. A physical corner, that fits well perfectly there. The second team I have, unfortunately, I have to say it, the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a story will be that the team that your father played for drafts you as well. The Steelers can help with the cornerback situation. They just let Cam Sutton go to Detroit. Definitely help out that corner slot. Pittsburgh's defense is physical, and there's no better physical cornerback, I believe, than Porter Jr. lining up in that black and gold. And finally, the number 1 team, the team I think will be a perfect fit, is my Baltimore Ravens. Now, I know we have Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey's a great corner, one of the better corners in the league, but Marcus Peters is now a free agent, and I believe they're not going to re-sign him. They need to kind of boost up that secondary, something they kind of struggled with last year. You saw it from time to time. Imagine Porter Jr. lining up with Marlon Humphrey. That's a very physical corner duo that will give teams like the Steelers a run for their money, and I think that would be a perfect fit for Porter. Overall, Porter is a very physical corner here. Again, the stats don't light up here, but if you watch the film, and scouts have definitely watched him, you can tell that this guy is a physical, blocks whole half of the field. If you develop him to the right system, he will be unstoppable, and I think Porter Jr. is going to have a very bright future in the NFL. Let me know what you think about Joey Porter Jr. down below. Do you feel old as me by saying the name just alone, Joey Porter Jr.? Let me know down below, where do you think he fits? What do you like about him? What don't you like about him? Where do you think he'll end up? Do you like my top 3? Let me know. If you haven't already, definitely check out every other draft prospect we've done here. I've done Hendon Hooker, Bijan Robinson. We've had a bunch of other prospects coming out throughout the week in the past couple weeks. Definitely check them out if you haven't. Definitely give Review and Preview, subscribe, and a thumbs up if you haven't already. And once you do all of that, if you want to check out my stuff on the side, I have a podcast, the Slick Back Kickback Report. You can check that on my YouTube channel, Fonz DeFalco. But do all the Review and Preview stuff first, and then support your boy if that's what you want to do. And definitely stay tuned for our draft live first round coverage on Thursday. It is going to be incredible. I am looking forward to it. I'm going to be there. Tom Scabetta is going to be there. We're going to have a bunch of other guests there. You never know who's going to show up here. Maybe Joey Porter will be taken during my Ravens pick, and I'll be jumping for joy. Who knows? But definitely check that out. As always, I'm Fonz DeFalco. Have a good day, good night, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.